Hi there. So are you thinking about moving to or living in Longmont, Colorado and just want to know a little bit about what the best things about this city are? Well, that's exactly what this video is for. Let's get started. Okay, Christy Lee here, and I am a local real estate agent as well as a native to Colorado. And if you're new to my channel, I love catering all of my videos to my favorite places that I've lived, that I recommend to other people, places I like to visit and take my kid. So if that's something that interests you, please click subscribe right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. All right, so today I'm going to be talking about the 7 best things about Longmont, Colorado. So there's a lot of great things about Longmont. So I have narrowed it down to the top 7. So please make sure you do stay till the very end of the video. That way you get that #1 top thing about living in Longmont. So to start off, let's just talk about where Longmont's located. So that's going to be my or number 7. We're going down the list. So number 7 is going to be the location of Longmont. Longmont is going to be directly north of Denver, and it's going to be about 30 to 40 minutes north of Denver. And then you're going to be about 30 minutes south of Fort Collins. So you're going to be right there in the middle of Fort Collins and Denver. What I love about it as well is that you are also extremely close to Boulder. So if you work in Boulder, or if you like to just, go into Boulder for dining or activities, especially outdoor activities, you could just take the diagonal right into Boulder and you could get there in less than 15 minutes. But they are also located in Boulder County. So you are going to be wrapped up in a lot of the Boulder events, when houses and things like that are, for sale. They're going to be in Boulder County. So kind of take that into note, and they might be a little bit higher in price point, but I'll talk about that later. But mainly the location of Longmont is just amazing, especially if you love the outdoors. You could get into Boulder in no time. All right, the 6th best thing about living in Longmont is the home prices. So I kind of mentioned that just briefly a second ago, but the median home price in Longmont, so Boulder County, but Longmont specifically, is going to be the mid-500s. Now, depending on where you're moving from, that may or may not be high or low for you. I'm not really sure, but I will say for Boulder County, that's exceptional, especially since Boulder as a whole is pushing that $1 million mark as their median home price. So if you could still live in Boulder County yet get a house for half the price of Boulder itself, it is fantastic. Now I will say that even though the median home price is going to be the mid-500s, on average, if you're looking for a home that's, newly built, I would say within the last, 10, 15 years, right around that 2,000 square foot mark, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, that normal standard home, you're probably going to be pushing right around 600, 650 to be in Longmont. But, just so you know, the median is going to be mid-500s. That's going to be an older home, probably a little bit smaller home, but definitely worth living or, moving there because of the cost of living in the median home price. The 5th best thing about living in Longmont, Colorado is going to be the outdoor activities that this city has to offer. So Longmont is, has parks all over the place. You could go hiking, biking, fishing, really wherever. If you would like to go kayaking or paddleboarding, you go to McIntosh Lake or Union Reservoir. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes too because there's just so much to talk about in Longmont. So you could go kayaking and paddleboarding in Union Reservoir and McIntosh Lake. You could go hike and walk your dogs, things like that on the Rabbit Mountain open spaces, so that's amazing. And you could go fishing in the St. Vrain Reservoir, and you could go camping there too. So, you know, if you're somebody who loves the outdoors, this place is amazing. And then also to kind of piggyback on that, you are super close to Estes Park and Lions. So you could just head right up to Estes Park and you could go camping up there. Lions is gonna be right there as well on your way up to Estes Park. So there's a lot of things going on in Lions. So Longmont, if you're somebody who is an avid outdoors person, they have so many lakes, so many hiking trails, biking trails. You could go fishing and camping, you know, within minutes of Longmont. Number 4 on the list of best things in Longmont is that it's extremely kid-friendly. This city, you know, really caters to the younger generation. They have a lot of parks everywhere, but just like a lot of activities. So just to kind of name two, the Adventure Playground and Sandstone Resort or Ranch, excuse me, it's just a really fun place. You could take your kids, they could play around, zip lines, you know, a lot of outdoor activities. And then you could also go to the Sunflower Farm, which is so fantastic and located right in Longmont as well. You go pet and feed animals. You could play on, you know, the haystacks. There's also a zip line thing there too. So they just do a lot of things for kids. There's a lot of festivities and festivals for children as well. And then like I've already mentioned before, there's parks all over the place. There's trails all over the place. So you just want to take your kids just outside and just hang out in the park or go fishing or whatever that might be. Just walk around McIntosh Lake or, you know, Union Reservoir. You could do any of these things right there in Longmont. Number 3 on the list is the fact that it is located in the St. Vrain Valley School District. And now this district is ranked number 5 out of the best districts surrounding Denver. It's number 5 on the list. So it is highly ranked school district. I will say that it is, according to niche.com, it is highly desirable for athletes. So they definitely strive on the athletics in St. Vrain, and it's also named one of the safest school districts surrounding Denver as well. So if you're looking for an area, you know, that's really good with schools, maybe you have a kiddo who's really into sports, you know, things like that, definitely head to Longmont. There's a lot of schools out there. You are going to be in a great school district, so you are going to, you know, be very, you know, well educated in that sense. But also, you know, even if you wanted to, you could always open enroll to Boulder Valley School District as well if you want to by living in Longmont, because they do offer that. And Boulder Valley is actually ranked number 1. So, you know, a couple of things, options that you have, you just have to drive obviously to one of those schools, but it's going to be really close. I mean, Longmont is extremely close to Boulder and the surrounding areas that offer Boulder Valley schools. So just something to think about if you are moving there with a family. Number 2 on my list is going to be the local breweries. All right, so I am a huge avid Colorado beer drinker, so I love my local breweries, and honestly, I head up to Longmont all the time because they have some amazing breweries up there. So if you're somebody who likes craft beer, Longmont's gonna be a place to live, if not visit, if anything. The top ones that I could just name off my head are Wibby, Collision, Oscar Blues, 300, Sun Brewery, and I'm missing one, Left Hand's up there too. So, you know, a lot of them are gonna offer food, like have a restaurant. Other ones will just have the food trucks, but all of them are kid friendly. So you're always gonna be able to go there, bring your kiddos with you. There's usually always some sort of games or activities going on in all of these breweries. So it's just a great location. Longmont really did a great job by putting all of these breweries. It's almost like Fort Collins, but not quite as good as Fort Collins, but you're definitely close to Fort Collins too. So if, Longmont breweries aren't gonna be, great for you, head up to Fort Collins as well. That's only gonna be about 25 minutes away. So definitely head to Longmont if you're into craft brews. All right, and as promised, my number one best reason or thing about living in Longmont is their downtown area. So right off of Main Street, I have a whole video on this, so please check that out. But their Main Street is awesome, and they've only done amazing things over the last few years. I've mentioned it before in other videos. Longmont never used to be all that great, but I tell you what, they absolutely changed their atmosphere and their vibe. And I go to downtown Longmont honestly all the time. My office is on the Main Street right there, so I'm able to go there all the time. And why do I love it so much is that there's just so many restaurants, local restaurants, so many local boutiques. You could do things all the time. They close off the roads sometimes for festivals and parades. You could just go there, anytime and hang out with friends. You could go shopping. I love it at nighttime because it's all lit. So it's kind of like Christmas all year long. It's super cool. So, there's a lot of, Dickens Opera House is great because you could go there and listen to music all the time. There's a small theater that's right there. You could go paint pottery or, have a glass of wine on a couple rooftops, have a beer, at the pump house. So these are just things that I absolutely love about Longmont because honestly, it never used to be like this. It used to be just kind of like, bleh, nobody went there. But honestly, they've gotten it so cool now. They have really narrowed down a niche of their city, and they cater to so many different types of individuals within this Main Street downtown area that it's such a cool vibe to go to. And that is definitely my number one reason of living in Longmont, Colorado. All right, so that is my video. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. Like I said, I am a local real estate agent and I absolutely love hearing from you. I work with people all over the country who are moving to Colorado and I love talking to you. I am the one that answers those text messages and those emails. So please reach out. Remember to click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. Until the next video, take care.